Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3.
Pints for everything. Build your boats in pine wood?
Course not. Wench dragged me some pine so I'd make her a cradle.
Boat business not booming?
Not well at all. Ain't no fish.
Heard you're a good boatwright, and an even better card player.
Wanna play?
Hell yeah.
Always ready for a round.
A slingshot. Gonna hunt bears.
So today's episode is going to be a little quieter. Less, main quest stuff. And more just side quests and, miscellaneous stuff. That seems like a solid enough hand. Especially with a spy. Alright, quiet start. Why not open up with some big guns? Or big ballistae, as the case may be. Although I think that one's a catapult. And that one's a siege tower. Oh, whatever. Point is, I'm going in on the back row. Oh. And he is negating the advantage of a cold snap. Oh. Well, I only took out one card at least, and there's more where that came from. Oh. He used his leader ability to steal my catapult. Mean. Anyway, yeah. Looks like that about did it for him. Oh, that's nice. Means I can use the resurrection unit twice. Oh, Cahir. You know, it's kind of interesting to see him in the Nilfgaard deck and not the neutral card deck, since the neutral cards are all aligned with Geralt. And while Cahir started as a Nilfgaardian, by the end of the books he was very solidly part of Geralt's group, rather than Nilfgaard's team. Anyway, looks like he's got a pretty big advantage here. I do have a resurrection unit, and I'm thinking I'll have better luck using it against the few cards he has left rather than that big card advantage he got. Way to shoot yourself in the foot there, buddy. Huh. I don't even have to use my last card, I just...
Rules say the card's mine.
Aye, 'tis indeed. Gods, believe you're good enough to try your luck against Hattie. Folk laugh at him 'cause he's young and a bit dim, but word is, he weren't afraid to beat the Baron himself.
Man, whip your arse.
Yeah, I suppose if you only had that particular weather card left, there was not much else you could do. But if that's the case, why didn't you use Torrential Rain earlier? Back when I was loading up that first round with siege units. Seems like it would have been a better time.
Me man went to see the witch again. She's enchanting him.
What are you looking at? Bothering us
In exchange for your help.
You play Gwent?
They say Hattie's dim, but that just ain't true. Hattie don't know how to plough or sew, nor catch no fishes. But he sure can play cards. So Hattie plays Gwent.
So let's play.
Alright, I'm wondering what card I got, and oh, it was probably Letho. Played that card during his round. So yeah, I got a couple of hero cards for Nilfgaard now. Ooh, couple of Blue Stripes Commandos, that's nice to see. Commander's Horn, that'll come in handy. And replacing the same card with the same card. So, fun fact about Hattie. Back when I first played this game, back before it got a lot of patches, Hattie was a terrible Gwent player. Like, among other things, this game has really improved the, oh, what the hell. The game has really improved the Gwent AI since the first version. But yeah, in the first version, the game I played against Hattie... Oh, come on, you... Damn it. You and your scorches. Okay, fine. What else have I got here? Oh, and of course, you two can play at that game. No, it's just... Never mind about this round. What was that even for? Damn. I mean, sure. If I can get you to waste some time, then why not? But yeah, in the original version of this fight against Hattie. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I'll get another card because of what? Because I won. Oh, that's good. That's a good card to get. Yeah, I keep interrupting myself. The first time I played against Hattie, I got Hattie to play all of his cards during the first round. Every last one of them. He never forfeited. And, he was pretty much just as useless as that in terms of when to play his cards. And so I won handily by running out his hand in the first round.
Hattie done lost. It happens. Take your praise.
But in this version of the game, he's actually a pretty decent card player. Oh, and he got Vernon Roach.
I say we tell the Baron's boys he hides his
That's nice.
forest.
It's another character from the second game.
Good sport. Supposed to taste like
One of your buddies, and one of the two options you have for how to play out the second third of the game. Yeah, fun note about the game, or The Witcher 2, is that there are two completely different second thirds of the game. They can play out entirely differently. You stand in different areas.
The old god demanded 6 sucklings. You didn't bring but a single scurvy run. No wonder he cursed us. We're doomed.
You's the one brought soured wine. Curse is your fault as much as mine.
What's this about?
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you've got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood, and suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Mm-hmm. Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me elms. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this all-god of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, "All God, help a poor wretch in need." Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
Suppose we should see about what's going on here. Looks like that's the altar there. Some odd statue I can interact with.
Oh, all-god, help a poor wretch in need. Pretty please.
How dare you disturb my divine rest, mortal?
I dare disturb it because I want your divine self to lift the, curse you cast. Those peasants really don't have.
They must bring worthy offerings or they shall face drought, driving hail, earthquakes, avalanches. I have spoken.
Avalanches? Here? How would that work? No answer from the all-god. Fine, we can finish our conversation when I find him. Voice came from underground.
Gods usually aren't quite that talkative.
Wine. Or more like vinegar. Someone drank it anyway. Could follow the scent.
And there's definitely a noise coming from underground.
Nahal in his eye. Ought to use it.
Aha. Gods don't really deal in illusions either.
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure. Expected the all-god to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
And I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curds and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and Melitele then, Demanding prayers and offerings, giving naught in return? I talk at least.
Listen here, lardass. You're gonna be satisfied with what you get, or I'll feed you to the ravens.
Plowing reformers. No, fine, fine. I'll sup more modestly. But just till the end of the war, not one day longer.
So that guy is something called a Sylvan in this universe, or also a faun. It's a bit hard to tell underneath all that fat, but he does have goat legs. And, at least based on the one we encounter in the books, fauns are kinda assholes. Well, this is about Radovid. The most recent Radovid. I believe he was still in the Regency phase of his rule when the books ended. But yeah, I mean, what he's doing isn't really worth killing him, exactly.
Anything new?
Talk to your all-god, face to face.
And will he show us mercy?
He will. promise to be pleased with whatever you bring.
I told you the All-God's merciful understanding. Thanks, Witcher.
However,
Oh, one last thing. Did you know there's a crypt beneath this hill? Might want to take a look sometime. Architecture's fascinating.
yeah. It's not that judgment should not be passed on that guy, it's that it's not Geralt's place to pass that judgment. It's the place of the peasants he's been extorting for the past century. Are they fine with the arrangement? Do they want the Sylvan to continue acting as a god? Well, do they think their relationship is worth it? That's not something Geralt can figure out just by wandering through. But once they know the truth, well then, they get to decide. And if they can't pick up that giant hint I dropped, then, well, honestly, it is kinda on them.
Will you join the tournament? Eh? A bit of honest fist fighting to clear the lungs and bowels. Though I warn you, Jordan can be fierce. Likes to bite. Get me? So, what'll it be?
What are the rules?
We mostly use fists, but no one looks askance at a straight kick to the stones. Defeat Jonah, then Smithy, and stand fish gulper, and you'll earn the right to face the sergeants. Velen's champion.
All right. Let's see just how fierce Jonah is.
Feast your eyes on an epic clash between Jonah and the Drifter.
Starving him. Brought a curse down upon his self, he did. Rats ate him alive.
You just gonna keep on circling there, Jonah? They're actually gonna come in here and try and fight. Well, that was a bit underwhelming.
Drifters defeated Jonah. Could this be a new champion of Velen in the making? Who can tell? If you want to be champion, go to Crow's Purge and ask for the sergeant. Or try your strength in Novigrad. The fight there too. Same in Skellige.
It's kind of curious how a bunch of people in Velen know that Skellige has fistfight championships. I mean, the two regions are not exactly neighbors. And while Novigrad has a strong shipping industry, Velen is the ass end of nowhere in a swamp. They may be nearby to Novigrad, but considering that for most of their histories they've been on opposite ends of a border, there's really not that much interaction between the two regions. Anyway, technical difficulties, and now we're back.
Go, go.
I'll tell you where the loot's at. Finally found the winner to be named champion of all Velen.
Yeah.
Apparently you can't talk to bookies from behind.
Who knows? Might knock you out too.
A witcher without a sword's like a man without bodies. Come on,
I'm ready.
Huh? Look who we have here!
Where'd the horse come from?
The Baron know this is how his men amuse themselves?
Baron knows all about it. Even bets in the fight sometimes.
Bets like a dumb fuck, always loses.
Well, fair enough. I mean, I kind of expected that, really.
Let's start.
All right, come to daddy.
That's a weird thing to say before you beat someone up. Actually, all things considered, it is unfortunately not that weird for this time and this place and this culture.
What a fight! Let it be known by one and all that the Witcher has defeated the Sergeant and become champion of all Velen. If you've not had your fill, you'll find worthy pugilists elsewhere. Plenty of them in Novigrad, plenty in the Skellige Isles.
Yeah, again with the Skellige Isles.
Nothing here for you.
Baron Schmarren.
Not that I beat your face in anymore.
Come on.
Anyway, something interesting about Geralt's scars is that a lot of them are directly based on some of the wounds he takes during the book series. Like, you can see that he has a bite mark, a human bite mark on his shoulder. That was the time when the princess, who used to be a Striga, bit him and nearly killed him through blood loss. And then just across the stomach, he's got a few puncture wounds from when he got skewered by a peasant's pitchfork. And that was at the end of the book series. Anyway, time to go on and do some of the other side quest stuff. Some of the stuff that we've built up. And you know, the Peller sounded pretty urgent when he made his request for help, so I figure, you know, I should head over to Fyke Isle soon. So here's something interesting about dodge rolling out of the way, is that if you dodge directly away from a monster, that generally puts you outside of sword range. Like, even with the way that Geralt jumps forward with each blow, you will miss if the first thing you do out of a dodge roll is swing at the enemy you dodged away from. That's one of the big reasons to just do the little dodge instead, because that keeps you closer to your enemy and still within sword range, and man, that's a lot of boats. I can see why they needed them, though.
Soon will rise thy dead, thy buried. Each will say, I walked there,
Huh. They are labeled the Mob.
this life.
So I gotta wait a little bit for the ceremony to get started.
Once life subsides, man his own fate decides.
But looks like everything's ready.
Soon will rise the...
Greetings.
Just in time.
Good folk, behold the one who will protect us. You needn't fear.
Soon shall we summon the wandering souls. Beyond all help some will be. From these you must protect us. Evil creatures keep at bay. Keep at bay till the ritual's done.
Begin.
Keep us from harm, and let them not disturb the circle.
What is this?
Gotta get the right oils up for this. Lots of specters we're gonna face. Oh, right. I forgot again, I've got the wrong armor on.
Well, you know. What comes next once life subsides? Soon will rise thy dead, thy buried.
Will ye grant these souls reprieve?
The storm, damn it.
Let's begin Forefathers Eve.
I hear them coming.
Ever caught in this world's thrall, see the sign, gentle. Ye summon,
I don't think this music track features anywhere else in the game.
Hark! A sound I hear. 'Tis right. A spirit breaks the still of night.
Burn the incense ever higher. Spirit, join us round the fire.
Spirit, speak. This time is yours. Tell us of your ghostly woes.
Who are you?
He knows.
Should I drive him away?
Nay.
I've come for you, patricide.
Begone, foul force! I cast upon you the light of the eternal fire! Abomination! Stop this at once!
The errant souls. We must help them.
Silence! I'll not tolerate necromancy.
Help me.
Leave now. You're disrupting the ritual.
This is black magic. These folk disturb the dead. We cannot allow it. We will not.
You don't know a thing about their customs.
Take him and disperse the others.
Told you they were assholes.
Good folk, leave not these grounds. Ye cannot break the circle.
Come on, get over here. There we go.
Tis an ill turn. Ill. Woe away. Blood has stained the hallowed ground. Yet we cannot stop what has begun.
The bloodshed would do any harm?
Tainted lies the circle now. They who thirst for the gore of men shall come. God's willing, they will be few, and the Peller shall finish the rite.
If you want to continue, I'm ready.
Good folk, we must the eve complete. Prepare yourselves. Ye we summon, ye we call. Enter souls, we'll judge ye all.
All is quiet, all is gloom.
Something whispers, something peeps. Someone near our fire creeps.
All is quiet, all is gloom. In the darkness loom.
Wraiths! This sacred ground is with blood stained. We cannot the ritual complete. People, save yourselves. If your lives you value, run!
Alright, here we go. Luckily they aren't that tough.
This is hallowed! Alas, all is lost.
Gotta be a peasant who told the witch hunters about the ritual. That spirit they drove away. Your father's ghost, right? Threatened to come back. Likely to keep his word.
Old man Ambrose, the Peller fears not.
That wraith called you a patricide. He get it right?
Aye.
If I'm gonna help you, I gotta know everything. Why'd you kill your father?
The Peller does not wish to speak of this.
You can't hope to manage this alone. You're afraid, that's clear. Wraith will hold sway over you. Listen, I'll send him off. I've got to. But I need to know where he's buried. corpse probably hasn't turned to dust yet. That's his bond to the world of the living.
Ambrose lies in the swamp.
Fine. I'll find his body, see what I can do.
Doesn't really narrow down his location, though. In the swamp. Velen is a swamp. I mean, it's also a couple of other places, like actual ponds and lakes. And I believe a couple regions are more like English Downs.
It's clearing up.
But yeah, the east half of Velen is a swamp. And a lot of the west half of Velen is also a swamp. Anyway, fortunately, despite getting such vague directions, we do have an indicator of where precisely to go. Mostly precisely where to go. And yeah, like I said, it is in the very swampy region. And I figure I might as well take a relatively direct path there. The main quest also lies within the swamp, and I'd like to skirt around it for the time being. There's actually not that much of the main quest left anymore. And so if I get started on that, I'm liable to finish it. And I'd rather clear up all of the side quests and Witcher contracts and all that other good stuff first. Southwest Velen isn't a swamp, it's a lake. There's also a region in the far southeast, which is extremely dangerous to visit and explore, because it's actually part of the main quest when you return to Velen much later. And the levels of the enemies you encounter there reflect that fact. But for the time being, looks like I found a drowner's nest. Right into the water. So yeah, let's just deal with this. Oh, got a, there we go. Charge off of my sword. Always nice to see.
Drowners are coming out of there. Best blow it up.
And there we go. Oh, got a couple more, slightly more powerful drowners here coming up in revenge for trying to clear out the nest. And hey, that means I got another charge off of my sword. Nice. Yes, shell and seashell, those appear to be the pearl-carrying items. The names of the pearl-carrying items. I mean, not that the name is very important, since those are the only two shells you can encounter. So it's pretty clear. Anyway, this appears to be the right region, according to the minimap. Appear to be some... Oh, rot fiends. Nice. Oh, dang. Managed to get a charge off of that one. And luckily my Quen shield was up, so I didn't take any damage from the explosion.
The swamps kept Ambrose's body in good shape. Even where the Peller smashed his head in. Gotta incinerate it. That ought to get the Spectre to leave. Leave the world of the living. Never return again.
Yeah, stuff like this is why Forefathers Eve is actually pretty important. even if it is a form of necromancy. I mean, despite being a form of necromancy, the point of it appears to be to reconcile the spirits of the dead, and there are a lot of spirits that need reconciliation. Oh, foglets. And drowners. That's a dangerous combination. Dang it. I believe Igni is actually pretty useful against foglets, because it can burn away the fog and cause them to reappear, but not on their terms, but on your terms. The problem, of course, is that in order to do that, I need a full stamina bar and to not have Quen Shield up, because that's what I use my stamina bar on. But that is easier if you spend more of your time, if you build more towards sign use rather than combat, or physical combat, which is what I've done with this version of Geralt. Mostly because it's easy to just run forward and just constantly attack with light attacks. And yeah, I am trying to find a nearby road marker, but they are not easy to come by, and for some reason I don't have one for that one town whose... Damn, there's a lot of stuff hiding in the swamp here. Yeah, I just gotta climb up this hill here. Yeah, for some reason I don't have a road marker for this town, even though they've got a signpost. And you almost never see one without the other. So if it's not close to the signpost itself, it should be on a road nearby, like so. There we go. Yep, just a little bit further away. And now that I've got that, I can head back to the Peller. He lives on the other side of Velen from where he tossed his father's body. Anyway, I believe the Peller can die if you don't intervene against those witch hunters. So this is pretty much the last quest he's got available. Just this follow-up to Forefathers Eve.
White wolf, wise wolf. What?
Found your father's body. Had to burn it.
Good you did. Return for me ye would have.
What's your story? You actually kill your father?
'Twas an evil man. The Peller feared him once, but then grew brave. What his father did to his mother, the Peller could not look upon it. So he split the father's head with an axe, left him in the swamp. But folk knew.
Ghost's not likely to come back.
Thank you, Witcher. A reward for your aid. And if herbs or remedies you ever need, for near nothing you will have them from me.
And there we go. And despite the name of the event, it does not seem like Forefathers Eve is specifically any date of the calendar. It's just Eve as in evening. Any particular evening will do. And since we're on a side quest kick, I figure I might as well go figure out the next of Geralt's Witcher contracts, the lowest level one available. No reason not to do them in order.
Must be the witchman, freak of nature. Bit more interesting things from my nose.
Yeah, heard it all. So, over to Linden Vale to see what's up with, what was it called? The Merry Widow.
Gods have turned from us.
Went to the forest for brushwood yesterday.
Do you know any other huntsmen?
Alright, looks like the gravedigger lives at the edge of town here. It's got a few headstones around.
Hear about the job. Seems you've got a problem. Some graves get dug up.
If that were only it. Every now and then, a wild beast would come round the graveyard, devour what's fresh, then move on. Started again not long past. Thought to myself, just don't step out after dark and lock your door tight. But then a young'un went missing.
From the graveyard?
Nay, from the village. Little snotter wouldn't have come here of his own. And I'd heard something like a whimper in the night.
Didn't bother to come out, see what was happening?
Think me daft? If you've monsters, you need a witcher.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about my reward.
Alright, what can we get out of him? We'll just go for an average rate.
Rate's fair, considering the job. I know a bit about these things.
Alright, well, fair enough.
See if I can learn what's out there.
Good doing business with you. And looks like the graveyard is that sort of enclosed area just to the right of Linden Vale. So let's head up here. See what we can discover. Oh. Bunch of rabid dogs. Dang it.
Ghouls dug up the graves, and the stench of decay attracted wild dogs. But neither ghouls nor dogs steal kids.
I mean, they'll eat kids if they show up, but they won't steal them. Huh. Odd place to find a saddle. But okay.
Dug up. No tools used, though.
Gravedigger might want to work harder. I mean, the whole point of digging graves is to keep wild animals from eating the dead.
Dug up with a hoe? Nope. Claw marks right there.
So, you know, when you're gone, bury him deep. 6 feet deep if you can.
Grave's been dug up. Recently. Smell of cadaverine's old, though. Overripe. Wonder where the stench will lead me.
Alright, so... Oh, yeah, it looks like it goes right over the fence there. Trail seems to be aiming me towards that noise in the distance, but it might be something else. Yeah, looks like it. I accidentally fell down, though. Oh. Nice. Good thing I fell down. But yeah, you cannot be in Witcher mode and jump at the same time.
Whatever filth lives here sure chose an unusual place for its lair. Creature can use tools. Means it's sapient, or just plain clever. Somebody's doing some cooking. Yes, It's a human femur. A child's. Human skulls in a magic circle. Monsters clearly using them, drawing strength from the place of power. Gotta be a grave hag. Collected the skulls to draw the power through them. Confidence grew enough it started prowling the village. Need to take the skulls, force it to go back to the cemetery. I'll get it there. That ought to really piss it off. Now to lay low in the cemetery. It's likely to crawl out after dark.
Alright, sounds like we're moving the place of power over to the graveyard. Which should make it upset. And also bait it out to the battlefield of our choice. Yeah, that little house is not a good place to fight someone. Not when using a Witcher's combat style, at least.
He stole my skulls. Ought to dig up his own.
There she is. Right on cue.
She's got a lot of hit points for a grave hag. I mean, of course she does. Oh, dang it. So much for getting the charge. And that takes care of that. Time to go tell the gravedigger the good news. Yeah, something weird there. Is that Erendite will tell you the actual differential between its damage and the other silver swords. Yeah, I don't really want the Grave Hag's trophy on Roach. Not very useful. But yeah, now that that's all done, Gravedigger should be satisfied with the job.
Hear about the job?
And?
It's taken care of. It was a grave hag that dug up the graves and snatched the child.
Aye? So, how is the little tyke?
Child's dead.
Oh, 'tis as I thought.
What about my reward?
Oh, I've not forgotten, nay. Here you go. Thanks much for your help.
Take care.
Yeah, no point in going easy with him. It's pretty much what he suspected, and it's not his kid. So he has absolutely no reason not to hear the truth right there. I mean, it's not a nice truth, sure, but still. And it looks like the next contract will take me right into the middle of the swamp, which, as again, is a place I'm trying to avoid, so how about deep in Novigrad? That's not an option either. For that matter, you can actually see where each location is, because the quests tell you. I mean, it's got that sort of dual shield thing going on for both Velen and Novigrad, but underneath it labels it clearly, Velen or Novigrad. And yeah, as much as I would love to head to Kaer Morhen get the wolf gear right away. Unfortunately, while I can look at the map, I cannot visit it yet. I do not have any signposts that I can warp to. And I won't until I have completed a good 2/3 of the main quest. Thereabouts. And for that matter, I can also look down here at Toussaint, which is All Saints, by the way, in French. And I could also go look at the Skellige Isles map, but again, no signpost, no chance of getting there. Alright, so what else can I do? Well, there's this secondary quest here that I've apparently gotten started on. Well, you know what? I think that actually is the one about the troll. That we found the marker for it in Oxenfurt. And for that matter, I do have a whole ton of question marks yet to look for. Like this bandit camp over here. Bandit camp means hanged man's venom.
Stench.
You know, if you're really fighting for Temeria, then why does the game call you deserters? You had your chance to fight for Temeria. And, you know, there are people still fighting for Temeria who are not deserters. Like the Blue Stripes Commandos, for instance. They're still out there. Fighting dirty, fighting a guerrilla war. Where's that thing? That valuable thing that will check off this question mark for me. Ah, here it is. Damn, that was a lot of health just for a couple of feet. Galtas. He's got some meaty thighs on him, but he cannot take a jump. Anyway, so next thing we're looking for is just off the side of this bridge here. Bridge appears to be in fairly good shape. I'm guessing there wasn't any sort of fighting around it. Otherwise it would have been burned or at the very least battle damaged. Oh hey, drowners. A little bit too far away, but there we go. Decided to come closer and... Huh, it's glowing. Looks like some phosphorescent fungus there. That or some sort of magical dealie. Well, either way, I found what I was looking for. And again, Moonblade thinks that it's 198 more powerful than Erendite, but Erendite is 18 points more powerful than it. And I've still got another 24 points left to go before I'm all caught up to my current level.